Yeah.
Yes,
All
we
right.
can see.
Okay. All right. So with that, then, thank you very much. So hi everyone. Welcome to Power Platform Bootcamp 2024 Delhi edition. And again, this Power Platform Bootcamp is happening all across the world. So find the place where where it is hosting the nearest Power Platform Bootcamp for you, and do join us for this exciting journey to explore the Power Platform components together, right? So, for example, if you are working onto the Power Apps, Power Platform, if you want to know more about latest happenings in Power Virtual Agent, which is right now renamed to the Copilot Studio and everything else, go ahead, subscribe to any of the nearest or maybe this virtual kind of an boot camps which are happening all across, and enjoy your journey with Power Platform. It is already 5 years. So yeah, so with that, we are pretty much excited to showcase our first session here on empowering your Power Platform solutions with OpenAI. So rather, I should have talked about Azure OpenAI, right? So again, the thing here is like we are not going to discuss about Copilot thing. Copilot is a bit means on top of OpenAI, but we are not going to touch upon the concept of Copilot as of now. But wherein I will see the Copilot icon, that one will definitely attract me, and I will spend some time with Copilot as well. So just to set the context, for example, if you have been using the Power Platform solutions, for example, Power Apps or Power Automate, and if you want to integrate the Azure OpenAI kind of and services into that, this session focuses mostly on that. So for example, if you are a developer who want to extend your Power Platform solutions so that you will be able to go ahead and add the intelligence of Microsoft Azure OpenAI into your AI solutions, AI-based solutions, in that case, this session will definitely attract you. All right. So with that, this is the agenda that we are going to cover over hour now. So we will just touch base upon the concept of OpenAI as well as Azure OpenAI. So I know most of you have been very much well versed with OpenAI as well as Azure OpenAI concept, but we just want to go from the ground, and we will just quickly touch base upon the concept of those OpenAI as well as Azure OpenAI. Then we will see like how we can leverage those OpenAI APIs which are available from the Azure portal to the Power Platform using something called as a custom connector. Then we will see like how we can integrate those into the Power Apps, or maybe also in Power Automate as well. And then we have very much demos. So we just have got 12 slides. So expect lot many demos, lot many things that we are going to show. But okay, before that, a quick introduction. Myself, Nandadeep Nathan. I am from Pune, India. I'm Microsoft MVP for M365 apps and services as well as business applications. Microsoft certified trainer as well as author of books on SharePoint framework, SharePoint hybrid with SharePoint 2019, and Viva connection. And onto the right hand side, here are a few of the social media handles to get in touch with me. If in case you want to have further discussions about this topic or anything else, definitely I encourage you to get in touch with me, and then we can take it forward. And with me today is Smita.
Hello, myself is Smita Nasan. I am from Pune, India. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm author of these two books, and these are my some of social handles by which you can just get in touch with me.
All right, so with that, let's get started from the ground. What is OpenAI? Okay, so OpenAI in a nutshell, it is a non-profit artificial intelligence research company based in US, and their goal is to advance the digital intelligence in a way that is most likely to benefit the humanity as a whole. So that means with that you will be able to use the models all across your ecosystem, all of those models which are based on the OpenAI, for example GPT-3, GPT-4. If I take a simple example of chat GPT, probably that is the most attractive one, wherein you must be spending more time on composing the emails or maybe writing the LinkedIn post, right? So all those kind of thing. So the major capabilities that OpenAI models carries out, like it helps us to generate the natural languages. Okay, so when it comes to the generating the natural languages, that means it can summarize the complex text for different reading levels. It can suggest the alternative wording for sentences, and it can do more things. So let's say, for example, text completion. So with that, it can help you to generate as well as edit the text. let's say, for example, you want to attend this global power platform bootcamp on a Friday evening and you have a urgent meeting as well. So you can take a help of those text completion model and ask them like maybe write some kind of an email for my manager so that I can show him the importance of attending JPPB or that meeting, right? So all those kind of thing that you can do together. Again, you can use this for embeddings as well. So embedding is again another concept wherein you will be able to relate the close matching words together so that we are no more using the keyword based searching, but at least we are using the vector based searching so that you can search, classify as well as compare the text. And then obviously you can generate the code. Okay, so for example, if you are a developer who is writing the code or need someone as a AI pair programmer who can help you to write the code, suggest the enhancement, maybe do the bug fixing for you. So that is kind of a thing where OpenAI models can help you. So it can do the things like translating the code from one programming language to other. It can identify as well as troubleshoot bugs in the code, and it can do many more things like writing a test cases for you as well. And then lastly, generating the images, which is based on the model called as a DALL-E or DALL-E, whatever you can call it out. So it will help you to generate the images for publications from text description, and it can help you to create an image so that there will not be any issues when you will use those kind of an images, because whenever we are trying to use the images, probably we need to take care of the copyrights and all. So at least most of this burden has been taken care of Dolly, so that there won't be any kind of a copyright on those, and then it is generating the newer images. So in a simple word, like we do already have most of the data information available with us, and then on top of that, this OpenAI will help you to go ahead and generate the new content out of it. Okay, so that was the pretty much simple context that I just wanted to set with you. Now that let us see like where all of those things get placed when it comes to the entire Microsoft stack.
So Azure AI is a collection of artificial intelligence services offered by Microsoft as a part of its Azure cloud platform. So the Azure AI services are designed to make it easy for developers and organizations to add AI capabilities to their applications without the need for extensive experts in AI technology. So Azure's AI services are the tools for solving the AI workloads and can be categorized into the three groupings. So the first one is Azure Machine Learning Platform, second one is the cognitive services, and applied AI services. So let's see all of them. So the Azure AI includes a wide range of services such as Azure Machine Learning, which is a cloud-based platform that allows developers to build, deploy, and manage the machine learning models as well as to create a custom machine learning algorithms. Then next one is the Azure Cognitive Services. It is a collection of pre-built APIs that allows the developer to add the capabilities such as a natural language understanding, computer vision, and speech recognition to their applications. The next one is the Azure Applied AI Services. It is a source of scenarios based services that enable organizations to accelerate the adoption, such as the Azure Cognitive Search, which provide the search capabilities over the structured and unstructured data by using the machine learning models. Then these services are integrated with Azure platform, which provides the capabilities such as the scalability, security, and compliance, as well as many other tools and services that can be used to build and deploy the AI-enabled applications. So the Azure OpenAI services are designed to make it easy for the developers as well as for the organizations to add the AI capabilities to their applications without the need for any extensive experience in AI. So the Microsoft Azure OpenAI services allow developers to quickly build, deploy, and scale AI-enabled applications and to take the advantages of the scalability, security, and compliance capabilities of Azure. So the Azure AI integration in AI Builder within the Microsoft Power Platform allows the businesses and the developers to quickly and easily build and deploy the custom AI models and to integrate them with Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents in order to add the advanced capabilities and improve data management and the security as well. So it allows to easily scale up and improve the performance of the models as well as easily integrating with other Azure services. So Microsoft has adopted Azure AI across a wide range of its product and its services in order to improve the functionality, performance, and user experience. So some of the examples where Microsoft has opted Azure AI at the scale, which includes these Office 65, Dynamic 365, Bing, LinkedIn, Xbox, and gaming. So let's see all of them one by one. So when it's come to the Office 65, so Microsoft has integrated Azure AI capabilities into Office 65, such as the natural language processing, computer vision, and the text analysis to improve the functionality of the product, such as the Outlook and Word. It also allows users to perform the tasks such as the automatically summarize long documents or automatically tagging the images in email attachment. Also, it's dynamically when it's come to the Dynamic 365 is a collection of business applications that enables the organizations to manage the customer data and the interactions as well as automate the business processes. So with Azure AI integrations, Dynamic 365 offers the features like the predictive lead scoring, sentiment analysis, and the chatbots to help the business to better understand and to interact with their customers. So when it's come to the Bings, Bings is a Microsoft search engine. It uses the Azure AI to analyze the large amounts of data and improve search results for the user. So, for example, Bing uses the natural language processing to understand the user's queries and generate the more relevant search result. So LinkedIn, everyone is familiar. So the Microsoft professional networking site and the LinkedIn uses the Azure AI to help the users to find opportunities, connect with others in their field and improve the performance of its recruiting tools. So for example, LinkedIn uses the natural language processing to help to match the job seekers with the job opportunity and uses the machine learning to help the recruiters to find the suitable candidate for that position. When it's come to the Xbox and gaming, so Microsoft uses Azure AI to power its Xbox gaming console. So the Azure AI allows the Xbox to learn a gamer's preferences and automatically adjust the gaming experience. Additionally, it allows the Xbox to improve the performance of the games and to offer the more personalized gaming experience. So there are just a few examples of how Microsoft has adopted Azure AI at the scale within its product and services. So the overall Microsoft has been using Azure AI across its various products and services to improve the user experience and to offer the more personalized, efficient and automated experience to its customer. So now let's see how this Microsoft has relationships with the OpenAI to collaborate on the development of artificial intelligence technologies. The partnership aims to accelerate the development of the advanced AI systems and brings the benefits of AI to more people. So Microsoft has partnered with OpenAI to deliver the three main goals. So the first one is to utilize the Azure infrastructure, including the security, compliance, and regional availability to help the users to build the enterprise grade applications. Second one, to deploy the OpenAI AI model capabilities across the Microsoft product, including and beyond the Azure AI products. And the third and the last one, to use the Azure to power all of OpenAI workloads. So Azure OpenAI service gives the customers advanced language AI with OpenAI, GPT-4, GPT-3, Codex, and Dolly models with the security and enterprise promise of Azure. So the Azure OpenAI co-develops the APIs with OpenAI, ensuring the capabilities and smooth transitions from one to another. With Azure OpenAI, customers get the security capabilities of Microsoft Azure while running the same models as OpenAI. So the Azure OpenAI offers the private networking, regional availability, and response AI content filtering. So when it's come to the GPT 3.5 or 4 is for the text completion, a set of model that can understand and generate the natural language. So the codex is a set of models that can understand and generate the code, including the translating the natural language to code. It is a descendant of GPT-3 that's been trained on both natural language and code. And Dolly is a set of models that can generate or manipulate images from the natural language. So now over here you have all this background of the Azure OpenAI. So let's go and check for the demo. But before going for the demo, let me explain you a couple of things over here. So it's a part of Microsoft's commitment of using AI responsibility. Access to the Azure OpenAI is currently limited. So the customer that wishes to use the Azure OpenAI must submit a registration form for both initial experiments access and gain for approval for to use it in a production. So once you fill this form and once you get the access, then the next step is you have to go in Azure portal, and from here you can just click on a create a resource, and then over here in the search box you can just search for Azure OpenAI, and then from here like a normal Azure resources you will able to create the Azure OpenAI. So once you clicked on the create, it will walk you through some of the wizard. Over here you have to provide some of the states, like you have to provide a subscription, you have to select a resource group. If you don't have, you can just create a new one. Then the next most important thing over here, you have to select the region, because all of the models are not available with each of the region. So for example, in our case, we are using a Dolly, which is available with East US. So whatever the region you are going to select, as per that, you will able to see all of the models. And next the same, other things are same like other Azure resources groups, like you have to provide a unique name and everything. Just you have to just select over here the pricing tiers, yeah? And once you're done with that, then you have to go to the confirmation and it will create that. To save the time, we have already created the one. So let me go ahead and open that one. So once you open over here, it will show you all of the details over here, like it is the location, subscription, status, pricing tier, endpoints, and the managed keys and everything. So let's go ahead in Azure OpenAI Studio. Once we clicked over here, you can see it is just taking us outside this Azure portal. The URL itself is mentioning that is oai.azure.com. So once you come over here, what you have to do as per your business, you have to just select the models and then you have to do the deployment. So let me go to the model. So we have selected East US region. So as per that, the models are available over here. You can just select any of the model, and then you can just click on the deployment. It will do a deployment for you. To save the time, the deployment is already done from our side. So this way you can just do that. Yeah. Now let's go to and play in the playground. So select the one model we have deployed and open in a playground. So before going to the production, you can come here, you can just play in a playground. So over here there is a setup, and then there are some of the configuration, and in the middle part you can just test your prompt and completion. So over here you have a system message that defines the behavioral of your system, and then you have a template. So there are so many templates available, you can just select as per your requirement. And once you provide the behavioral of the system using a system message, after that you can just go down and you can just provide some of the examples. That's about the setup. And then let's go to the configuration. So in the configuration, you can see the deployment model. This is the GPT-5 Turbo. We are going to select, yeah, and then the parameters available over. So you can just provide a max response, and over the information icon, all of the details already provided. So there is a temperature and top is also available. So We will suggest that please select the as much as less as a temperature and topic to get relevant result. Now let's go ahead and test our model. So I will say that let me ask that model how to make a pizza. So that's let's take it as a prompt. So we are going giving a prompt to our model that how to make a pizza. And now let's see what exactly it is going us giving us as a completion. So in the completion it has given us all of the outputs. So on the top, you are able to see the view code. So once you click on the view code, there are Python, curl, and others are also available. Let's go quickly to the curl. And over here, you can see all of the details available here. Whatever the message you have seen, the message is available, body message available over here from the Azure resource group. You can just provide API key, max tokens, the topi, temperature, everything. So, and just you can just test here over here, and then later on you can just go and you can just apply the same thing in your production.
All right, so now that this give us some kind of an hint that there is a REST API available, which we'll be able to go ahead and use in our application. And again, those applications are probably our OpenAI, sorry, Power Apps as well as Power Automate. So let's see our first example, how we can use this Azure OpenAI chat completion API with Power Apps. So before that, I just want to quickly walk you through the steps, how we are going to do that. So we just have seen that there are chat completions APIs available in Azure OpenAI. We are going to consume those through custom connector. We will build a custom connector for that, and then we are going to consume that into the Power Apps. So this is the same thing that we will follow for chat completions as well as while we are generating the images. So for that, let me again go back to the environment, and I will go to the Power Automate environment from where we are able to go ahead and create the custom connectors. So onto the left hand side, left menu, you can see the custom connectors, and this is the place from where we'll be able to go ahead and create the custom connector. So custom connectors are nothing but just kind of an wrapper on top of the functionality which is exposed via an REST API, or any of the API which can be accessed, whether it is public or whether through any kind of an authentication. So once you click on new connector, so here we do have options to create from a blank or any of the Azure service or OpenAI file, which is your Swagger file, or from Postman collection. Even we're going to show you from the Postman collection as well, or even you can go ahead and import that from GitHub. So for this OpenAI service, we are going to import one from the GitHub. So there is a GitHub branch available wherein you will be able to see all of those certified uh, connectors. So you can go ahead and explore all of those independent published connectors, and then probably use them into your application. So there are many available, and based on what kind of a scenario you are building for your customers, you can go ahead and use those. So here we do have a couple of branches to choose from. We'll go ahead with the master, and then we do have one available for Azure OpenAI. So we already have it done, but just wanted to show you like this is a place from where you will be able to go ahead and use those. So this is the custom connector. I will just go into the edit mode. So custom connector is again kind of a wrapper on top of your APIs. So once you go ahead and create a new custom connector, it will just ask you to upload any of the icon just to give some kind of an authenticity to your customer by having some kind of an icon presented, and a description which will make your users aware of what functionality this custom connector can do. You can you choose a scheme. For example, if it is if your API is on top of HTTPS or HTTP, and again, for example, if you are planning to get your data from the on-premises servers or on-premises data, in that case, you can go ahead and use the on-premises data gateway. Host is pretty much important. Like host is the thing where your service is located. For example, if you are using SharePoint, then SharePoint.com is your host. Similarly, for the Azure OpenAI, the host is openai.azure.com. So for example, if you're not very much sure from where you can get the host, so this is a place where you can see that this is openai.azure.com. So based on the name of the Azure OpenAI service that you will choose while you're creating that, your name will differ, but your host name will be same throughout. So in this case, we are just using that as a host name. If in case you want to have some kind of a base URL, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just put a slash. The security section here will talk about how you are going to get authenticated against that API. So here we do have various options available. For example, you can use either API key, which we are going to use. So this is the API key that you can see at the bottom. And again, we are if you see the pattern, how we are going to get authenticated and get the data from Azure OpenAI is through the API key. So along with OpenAI, sorry, API key, we do have other options as well. For example, if it is a public URL, you can go ahead with no authentication or basic authentication. That means username and password. API key is the one that we are going to use now, and OAuth is maybe for the modern authentication. So once you have the API key, you can just parameterize that so that you will be able to use that when the end users of your connectors they're going to consume those. The third part here is the definition. So definition says about what are the actions that we are going to put into this custom connector and how the consumers of your custom connector, they are going to consume the data. So here we do have various actions, but we are just going to concentrate onto the action that we just have seen, that when we go to the chat playground, whenever we give some kind of an prompt, something like this, it gives us the reply. So this is one of the action for that. You can give a summary for that description, which will be available to your end users, which we will see when we will go into the Power App. And then again, you can define a operation ID, which is a unique string to identify the operation. So there are many operations or actions that you can do from a custom connector, but they should be uniquely identifiable. Then, for example, if you have got your request response body or your payload ready with you, you can go ahead and import that from a sample, or maybe you can add them one by one. So here we do have the deployment ID and API version, which is located here, the API version as well as the deployment ID, which is the model that we have deployed, for example, GPT-3. In that case, we're going to use that. So based on that, you can keep creating all the actions and you can keep adding those and then you will be able to use that. So adding an action is pretty much simple. Click on new action. The same kind of an wizard will appear to you where you can put the summary description and the request response kind of an body. So this is the simple kind of an HTML thing or simple kind of an request response thing that we are doing. Now that I will just keep this AI plugin, which is right now in preview, which probably you will be able to go ahead and use that into the copilots as well. If in case you are planning to use this kind of an plugin or this connector into your code, you can use the code from here. Or the very last step is to go ahead and test it out. So for that, you can just create a new connection. You can test out your entire body from entire actions from here. So choose the action, choose the operation from here and get it tested. So just to save the time, we are not going to probably test it one by one, but we are just directly going to go ahead and see it from the Power Apps itself. So this is the pretty much basic thing, like how you will be able to go ahead and create the connectors. So there are various ways available. The one which I just have shown you is directly available from the GitHub repository. So there's one gentleman, sorry, I forgot his name. He has made this Azure OpenAI service connector available to us, and then we are able to directly consume all of the Azure OpenAI resources or all of those APIs directly into any of the application. So with that, let's get into the Power App. Firstly, I just want to show you the demo and then probably we can run that. But still, let me go ahead and open that into a new tab. So this is a pretty much very simple Power Apps. I'm not a entirely Power Apps developer or a maker, so that I can explain you those things. But this is a pretty much simple Power Apps. So once it's open, you can see that we just have got one label, one button that we can press it, and then it is going to give the call to the Azure OpenAI. Azure OpenAI will process that through the custom connector, give us the response back. So this is just the normal prompt and completion kind of a thing. So we just have got only three controls here. Again, yeah, for example, if you see a Copilot icon here, which is a good thing right now, that with a Copilot as well, you will be able to add more controls to your apps as of now, because maybe just 1 or 2 months back, the Copilot was pretty much limited just to create the Power Apps, but now that it also has got a power, so that if you want to add another controls onto your screen, you can go ahead. So which is again kind of a progressing thing onto the Copilot. All right, so coming back to our app, this app is pretty much simple. We just have got one text box, text input, a button, and a label where we are going to show the result. So let me just run this first, and then we will see it in action. So this is not a simple app which I am talking about to you. So this is pretty much kind of a sarcastic app. So if you ask him some kind of a question, don't expect the good formal kind of an answer from him. Okay, so let's try that. So I will ask him like, what is HTML? Okay, so um, the correct answer will be like, just to say about what is HTML, the full form of HTML, but see like, okay, so it is not giving you the correct answer, right? So this is kind of a behavior that we have baked in into this app, or into this OpenAI model. So maybe let's try it one more time. Probably we are going to get some other answer as well. Okay, so this is just the behavior with which will be able to manipulate our model so that it can answer based on the what kind of an treatment, or what kind of an position, or authentication that we want to have or hold for that particular model, right? So okay, looks like it is taking some time, but trust me that it is going to give you some different results based on those parameters that we have configured. And again, let me just stop that, and let me just walk you through the code, because even I do have another demo for you to show. So how this one is happening, this is a pretty much simple text box wherein user can enter the value, and they can get the which will be passed as an input to your model. Then we do have this text box, which is, oh sorry, button which is causing all those things to be done. So before that, like how it is getting all those things. So whenever you will create a normal canvas kind of an app, you should go to the data, which is onto the extreme left hand side, and here you can go to the add data. Here we do have connectors. In the connectors, you should be able to see your connector that you have created. So once you have that connector, that's it. You will be able to go ahead and use that connector into your app. And this is the same thing that we are doing here. This is the connector that we have got. So once someone will click onto this button, we are just simply setting this label, the text on this label, which is a label text, to the value which we are getting from the Azure OpenAI. So for example, here we are using this Azure OpenAI service and dot chat completion. So from where this dot chat completion is coming from, so it is coming from your custom connector. So for example, if I again go back to the custom connector and into the definition, so this is the chat completion action which is being called there. And then we are just using the references of Azure OpenAI here. So I'm making the role of a system. So system is the role which defines the behavior of your model. And then I'm defining that behavior as a sarcastically answering model, right? So that's the reason it is giving us some kind of a sarcastical answers. So for example, if I ask him to politely answer the things, it will do so. So let us check that very quickly and move to the next demo. All right, so I'm just saving it. Let us run this. Let me try it one more time. And this time it should obey my order, and it should be able to go ahead and give the correct answer, right? So looks like it is taking some more time for me, but okay, even it is failed. Looks like I have exceeded the rate limit. Okay, all right, no problem. So again, you need to keep in mind like how much money you are spending onto this Azure OpenAI kind of a thing, right? So otherwise, during the demo, it will fail to show you the things. All right. So that was a quick demo of how you will be able to go ahead and use this chat completion APIs into your Power Apps. And with that, let's move to our next demo, wherein I just want to show like how you can integrate this Dolly kind of an images with Power Apps as well, right? So again, it is just the images, image generation Dolly kind of a thing. So for that, let me just open up the app first, and then we can walk through it. So maybe because of my credits which are remaining into the Azure OpenAI, we are facing this issue, but let us see, and I'm just hoping that we should be able to get the working solution here. All right, so before that, how this one has been done, let it load, and meanwhile also let me open up something called as an postman, so that I can explain it to you like how even you will be able to use the postman to create the custom connectors. So postman is again one of the thing, like for example, if you are if you want to go ahead and try out your APIs into the request and responses. So Postman is just another tool by which you should be able to do that. So let me just, I'm just opening up the Postman in the background, and when it comes through, I can show it to you. So before you are even creating the custom connector, for example, if you don't want to create those custom connectors from scratch, the best way is to go ahead and simply use the Postman. So this Postman will allow you to go ahead and test out your APIs. And once you are fine with using those APIs, you can create a custom connector out of it. So this is the Dolly kind of an collection that I have made. So we do have two things here, prompt and get image. So for example, when you will go to the Azure OpenAI to go ahead and create the images. Let's say, for example, if I quickly go back to the Dolly, which is into the preview, and here if I ask to generate any kind of an images, and while it is generating the images, let me go into the inspect mode because I like to go into the very much details of what is happening into the network tab where the requests are going through. So from here you should be able to see like where all those requests are going through. Okay, so I will just say like monkey eating banana. Okay, monkey. All right, so just watch this network tab. Okay, so once I click on generate, you should be able to see all those requests which are going through. Okay, so again, not necessary. We need to watch this one only. Even we do have view code, but this Dolly is a bit tricky in a sense that there are two APIs which goes into the background, and we are just from this view code, we are just only able to see only one. So we have one API here, which is going to the images slash generate generate and with the submit and API version and everything. But again, for example, if you pay more attention here, there is one more API which gets heated, and it is the API which generate the image for you. So in the background, there are two APIs which goes to DALL-E. So the first API will just give you the ID, and you need to pass on that ID to the second API, which will help you to generate the image, right? So this is a scenario which is bit complex scenario wherein you are expecting input from one one API, and then you are passing it on to the second API, and from there it works. Okay. So now that let's say like these are those two endpoints which I have noted down. So this is the one which we are even able to see from the view code, and this is the another API which I have captured from the network tab of the browser. So let's say we go into this prompt, which is a post kind of a thing. We just have given the entire URL here, and there are a few of the parameters which are needed. So the first parameter is API version. So this is the API version which we just have seen from here. So this is the API version, which is 2023-06 and everything. So which is the API version here, so that you can add as a query parameter. Obviously, since this is the Azure OpenAI API. We need to go ahead and get ourselves authorized. But for that, we are using the headers. So in the header, we are specifying the API key, which is this particular API key, which I will not show. Otherwise, even you will be able to use my Azure OpenAI, right? Okay, so this is the API key which I have stored it into the collection variable called as an API key, and then we can go into the body. So in the body, there are three things onto which this Dolly is based on. First thing is a prompt, like what is your input to the Dolly, which image that you want to go ahead and generate. Second thing is size of that image, whether it is 1024 or maybe higher resolution or lower resolution, those kind of a thing. And n stands for the number of images. So for example, if you want to generate 10 images and just want to choose one of that, or best out of that, you can specify this n as 10. But here we are just keeping it n as 1, so that it will save my money, as well as even it will be easy for me to to get that first value and process that into my Power Apps instead of looping through and showing all the things. All right, so this is the only thing that we have got, and let us go ahead and send this as a request. So once you click on send, this should just give us some kind of an ID. Okay, so this is the ID which I was talking about. So this is the ID that we have got. So this one will not directly give you the image, but this one will just give you the ID. And there is another API that it does into the background, which is for get image, where I can go ahead, paste this ID. Okay, and then I can simply click on send. Okay, so once you click on send, this is the URL that you are going to get and trust me that this is the URL where we should be having a wolf which is driving a car onto the moon. If you don't trust me, I can quickly go to that, and then we are going to see that image. Okay, so this is the wolf who is driving the car onto the moon. Same thing that we are now going to get translated into the Power Apps. Okay, so let's see like how we can use all these things into the Power Apps. So for that, I will go back into the Power App. But before that, we want to go ahead and have our custom connector, which we can again consume from our data tab as a functionality which we want to expose. So for that purpose, since we already have seen everything into Postman, we have it tested into the Postman. What we can do is this is the collection that we have created into the Postman. I can simply click on that and I can click on export. So once you click on export, this will ask you to export that collection either in V2 or V2.1. So choose anything that you want and just click on export, and there will be a JSON that will get created out of it. So this is the JSON that you can go ahead and see. All right, so with that JSON, what we can do is we can again go back to our custom connector. So this is the custom connectors that we have got. And then from here, you should be able to use that JSON. So for example, if you go into the new custom connector and you can just do import Postman collection, you can just give it a name and you can import that particular JSON file. So let's say, for example, this is the JSON file that you want to go ahead and use. So this is nothing but a Swagger kind of a file which has got all of your APIs along with its definition. So that based on this Swagger, it will generate the definition for your custom connector. All right, so I will just cancel it because I already have it done. So having this done in a pre-configured way helps the speaker in two ways. First thing is the demo will work for 100%, and second thing is it will save the time. All right, so with that, we have this custom connector where you can upload the connector. Again, this is the host API that you can choose to. And then we do have security wherein you can go ahead and give the authentication. Again, we do have API key with which you are going to authenticate. All those details will be captured by your Swagger file. You don't need to go ahead and redo that. Just that you just need to make sure that all those details are captured here correctly by your custom connector wizard, and you can go ahead. In the definition, you can see that these are the two things which we have seen into the Postman, which is the prompt and get image, which are being shown here. So we do have two things, two actions here, prompt and get image. To the prompt, we are just making a post call to our Azure OpenAI, passing on the information like API version and the body, which contains your entire text that you want to generate. And then the get image is a simple one. It is a kind of a get request, which will just accept that image as an ID, this image ID, and go ahead, generate the image. Again, once you are done with that, go ahead, test it out your API. Go ahead, try out the prompt API first, which will give you the ID. And then again, go ahead and use the get image to get that, pass on that image ID, and it will generate the image for you. All right, so with that, let me go back to the Power Apps where we already have this custom connected imported from our data part. And then again, this is a pretty much simple app. We just have got 4 controls here. And let me go ahead and try to run this first. So let me just say like dinosaur playing football. Okay, I'm just watching on my Azure credits. Hopefully that they are not expired, and we should be able to see the real dinosaurs who are playing the footballs here. So once I'm making the request here, you can see that it is trying to get the image by this particular ID. So the first request has gone successfully. It has generated that ID, and with the second request, which is passing that ID to the other GET request, and it is able to get the response onto our Power Apps, right? So this is the image that you see to get generated, right? So this is again kind of an image which is created by Dolly, which you can use for sure without having any kind of an copyright kind of an issues, right? So you can just click on this download button, and that's it. You will be able to go ahead and use this. So this is the simple app. Let me go into the complications of this app. Don't worry, this is not at all a complicated app. So this is the place where the user can add the input, just the text input. Then this is the button where we are downloading the image which is generated by image dolly. And for example, if you ask what is image dolly, so this is just the control, which is the image control where the image is being shown. Again, whenever you place the image control onto the canvas, it just expect you the URL wherein from where it can go ahead and fetch that data to show the URL. And in our case, that data comes from our OpenAI API, OpenAPI AI. So from there, you can see that this one is taking the first response, because if you remember when I was talking about the parameters to it, we just have given the n equals 1. That means only one image to generate. But again, for example, if you want to generate multiple images, you can loop through it. You can have multiple images control placed here, and you will be able to show that. Yeah. So this is just the thing, how you'll be able to go ahead and add the images from there. The main thing here lies is with this control of which is a timer kind of a control. So what happens now is that we have our first API which is hitting as a post. So again, let me go back to the postman for a while. So this is our first API which gives the prompt for a post at first time. It takes some time to go ahead and generate the ID for that, and then that ID I can pass to the second API, which is get image, right? So there is some kind of a delay, after which I will have to go ahead and hit the second endpoint, which is get image. So I'm just playing a safe game here of 10 seconds, so that the first API should hit and give me the ID, which is something like this, in 10 seconds. If in case it goes beyond that, my demo will fail, but I'm just vouching on 10 seconds to be a safer time to go ahead and generate the output from the first first URL. Okay, so we do have this timer here, and again, for example, whenever you will click onto that, so on click of that, I do have a code to go ahead. Oh, sorry, not this one. So on click of that, I just have the code so that it can go ahead and get the data. All right, so it's not auto start as well. Just forgetting the code here. Mm. All right, so on select, so whenever someone will click onto this, I'm just giving a call to my custom connector, which is $e, which is written here, and then dot prompt is this dot prompt is nothing but my operation which I'm doing. This is dot prompt. So it will go ahead, give that prompt. This is the first kind of an parameter, um, which is the versioning parameter, which is being mentioned here, and the second parameter which goes to the UI or to the DALL-E kind of an image generator model, which can help you to generate the image. So once it generates the image, after the timeout of the thing, when the timer will end, it will just do the notification. So that's the reason we saw that image, that ID getting generated. So this is a notify that is getting generated with that notify. So there you can see that image by that ID, and then we get that image by calling out the get image. So get image is nothing but our second operation that we are doing here into the custom connector, which will just help us to get that URL. And then once we get that URL, we just simply storing that into a variable called as final response. And this is the final response variable which is being used here. So definitely, since it will generate multiple images, we are just getting the first images out of all of the data it is generating, and then it can give us the result back. And for example, if you're interested, like why it is um, final result dot data, in that case, you can again go back to this image, and here you can see that this is the result that we have got. So this is the entire result that we should get as a result of our custom connector. Inside of that, we do have a data kind of an attribute here. Inside of that, we do have a URL, and that's the reason we do have results.data.url, which should go ahead and give us the exact URL where your image has been generated by Dolly, right? So with that, I guess that was all that we wanted to show you to you. So hope you like these demos and hope you like those ideas by which you can go ahead try out those Azure OpenAI with your solutions. So again, in the future, there will be direct connectors available through which you will be able to get them into the system directly. But again, for example, if you are thinking from the angle of Copilot, definitely whenever you want to extend the Copilot or even the Copilot Studio, plugins are again one of the way, or custom connectors are one of the way by which you can extend your Copilot Studio or Copilot plugins as well, right? So yeah, that's all. With that, I guess we are pretty much on time. I just have 2 minutes for you to go ahead ask the questions, but I will be monitoring the chat for any questions. And again, thank you very much for having us. And back to you, Aro.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an
thank you.
awesome session, and really appreciate that. This is something which is most people are looking for. I mean, this amazing session. Now we have a lot of people here in the Teams chat. Anyone have questions for them? Please, they have still have 1 minute left, anyways. But I have a question for you, Nandi. People who are
Sure.
getting interested in an OpenAI, how they can get started? Any resources? I mean, LinkedIn Learning, which through which not immediately, maybe, and after we have another speaker, how they can get started with the OpenAI. It's good to people who are just want to get started.
Sure,
You have
sure.
any resources for you for them
Correct,
so
correct.
that they can get
Yeah, so I will try to share those resources onto the chat window, but there are
okay.
various nice Microsoft Learn modules available, which will definitely help you get started with this Azure OpenAI. But again, I will say it is just your starting journey. It is just a starting point to get you introduced to the Azure OpenAI, but there are a lot many things happening into the OpenAI world. So keep a track of that. Keep yourself updated. For example, if you have been watching sorry, not Azure OpenAI, but just the OpenAI for Sora, right? You might have heard
Yeah.
of it.
Pretty good one. Yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, right. So those things will definitely come, and again there will be more connectors for that one as well in the future. So definitely, I will post those links in the chat window, but those
Okay.
are just the starting points for you. But it is up to you to have your own appetite to go ahead, look for further information, and then keep yourself updated.
Yeah, there's some more questions coming through. Maybe I will wait for other. Maybe
Sure.
we have another speakers. Guys, people like Akshay, Nikhila, and I mean other people. Please reply to them. I mean, they will reply to you because we have another speaker who's waiting as well. So again, I want to just a big thanks to Nandeep and Smita. I mean, know you guys for many years, but at least I want to say big thanks to you because it's a I know it's very tiring that you are on the Friday evening, so weekend coming, and you are doing another event tomorrow as well on the in person. So I really appreciate your time. Big thanks to you, and
Yeah.
please help to reply to the session on the. So
Sure.
people
Sure.
have asked me
We'll do
questions.
it.
Please help in that.
Yeah. Once again, thank you very
Thanks a
much for
lot.
having us. It is your love that give us the energy to present and organize various events. Thank you very much for that.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I going to
Bye.
stop the recording here. Yeah. So